Mr. Bremberg, for decades, the United States has been the leader in advocating for human rights, especially the rights of women and girls. If confirmed as the U.S. representative to the UN in Geneva, you will lead a team that's responsible for advancing U.S. policy on human rights and global health. Do you recognize reproductive rights and the rights of the LGBT community as human rights?
Senator, I do recognize and accept that reproductive rights as defined by the 1995 Beijing Conference Strategic Objective and under the objective in line with the program of action of the International Conference on Population and Development as important rights, but those state that in no case should abortion be promoted as a method of family planning. So yes to your question.
I'm not
asking
you to promote abortion, but just that you recognize that reproductive rights are important human rights around the world. And how about the LGBTQ community?
Yes, Senator.
You recognize, and will you defend, and if you are confirmed for this position, will you defend those rights in your new position?
Yes, Senator.
And in your capacity as the director of the Domestic Policy Council, were you ever involved in discussions to expand the global gag rule that restricts foreign assistance to groups that provide a full range of family planning services?
Senator, yes, I participated in the development and implementation of the President's expanded Mexico City policy, which we're referring to.
Have you seen any of the reports about the impact of that expanded policy on women and families in countries that are affected? And have you made any attempt to get information about what the real impact of those policies have been?
Yes, Senator, and I look forward to learning more. In my time during the White House, I was briefed on its implementation, I believe approximately a year into its implementation. One particular question that I and others were asking was this actually a difficult policy for our grantees and contractors to implement or adopt, or was it relatively easy? I'm happy to get the number for you, but I recall at the time of hundreds, I believe upwards of 500 entities. I think they had only had concerns raised or problems with, I believe, 3 to 5. I don't have the precise number. I'm happy to get back to you, Senator.
I would very much like to have you get back to me, because when I have asked that question of the USAID administrator and of the Department of State, I have been told by both of those that they are awaiting reports on what the impact is of those policies and that we don't have that information yet. So if that information exists within the White House and it is not being shared, I think that's a huge oversight. So I would very much like to see, Mr. Chairman, I hope that that information will be shared with the full committee.